James here from the Excire team, and in today's video, I want to show you a really cool feature offered in Excire Search 2026, the Similarity Search feature, or the Search by Example photo tool. Basically, what this does is lets you take an initial reference image, and then from there, search for other similar images in your Lightroom Classic catalog, images that are similar either in terms of their content or images that are similar in terms of their color. It's a neat way to sift through your image library when you're looking for various images that match a theme for a website portfolio or a social media carousel, for instance. It's also handy if you're looking for a specific shot in your Lightroom library and you've already located a similar image that you can use as a reference. So let me show you how this works. First, you want to select an image to use as a reference. That is the image for which you want to find other similar photos. And I'm going to choose this image here of the moon. Then if you've used previous versions of Excire Search, you'll probably be tempted to choose Library, plug in Extras here, and then find Search by Example Photo. That approach still works, but in Excire Search 2026, we actually have an easier method for running a similarity search using the Excire Search panel. Now, I like to set my Excire Search panel to open whenever Lightroom Classic launches, and I explain how you can do this in another video, but if your panel isn't open, just go to the Library module in Lightroom, then you're going to choose Library here, plug in Extras, and then Open Excire Search panel. Though you can also just hit Alt plus X on your keyboard or Option plus X if you're on a Mac, and the panel will pop right up. Now you can see the full panel right here, and on the left-hand side, it's displaying my reference image for the similarity search. But if you want to make the panel smaller, you can just come here, tap this Hide Photos button, and then you just get this nice little strip along the side, and you can just leave it like this, floating in the corner of the screen whenever you're managing your images in Lightroom, and you can access various tools here. So from here, we're just going to click the Find Similar Photos icon on the right-hand side. It's this magnifying glass here. So I click on that, and the Search by Example Photos dialog box is going to appear. So you have a few different settings here that you're going to want to configure to make sure that your search works exactly as you want it to. You can change the search criterion if you want. So you can say, do you want to look for images that are similar in terms of their content? In this case, that means, do I want to look for other images of moons in the sky? Or do I want to search for images that are similar in terms of their color? So do I want to look for other images that have this kind of dark purpley pastel-like quality? So I'm going to put photo content here, and I can also choose the similarity limit. So this tells Excire how similar the images should be that it's going to return. Like, how do they compare to the initial reference image? If I put this towards loose, and it is towards loose here, then the net is going to be a lot wider. That is the net that I'm casting, looking for similar photos. But if I move it towards restrictive, the net is going to be narrower, and I may get fewer results. And then I can say, do I want to search the whole catalog here, or do I want to just search in the Lightroom film strip? For my example, I'm going to choose photo content here, and I'm going to search through the entire Lightroom catalog. I'll say that I want 100 maximum results that are similar in content to this one, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. So if we look here, you can see that Excire returned dozens of images that essentially all contain similar content to my original. As we go down, maybe they become slightly less similar, but the first results here are absolutely spot on. And so, in a broad sense, Similarity Search has done a great job of getting me all of these different images in my catalog that have moons against skies. Now, if I go back to the Excire Search panel, I'm going to open the Search by Example photo tool, and let's look for another thing. This time we're going to take the same reference image and we're going to select color, just so you can see the difference between content and color here. and what that's going to give you. I'm going to keep the other settings the same, and I'm just going to hit start. Now, as you can see then, so here's the reference image, and the rest of these images have completely different content. No images of moons against the sky, but instead the colors are broadly matching. You get these dark purples, these really sort of twilighty blue colors, and that's exactly what I was looking for here. That's what I was hoping to get. And it should give you a sense of how you can use Similarity Search to actually do some interesting sort of color matching in order to create interesting social media carousels, for instance, or to put together sets of images for printing. I like to use the color criterion here. Now, before I finish up, I do want to show you one more thing. So it isn't in the Excire Search panel here, but under Library, Plugin Extras, you will find this Search by External Example Photo option. And like I said, not in the Excire Search panel, but it is a tool you have access to, and it lets you select a reference image using a URL or by browsing for a local file. And that can be useful if you don't have an image that's in your catalog that you want to use, but you know that it exists somewhere online or on your desktop. Similarity Search is one of my favorite Excire features. I generally use it to find several images that go well together, though sometimes I'll just spend some time in a Similarity Search rabbit hole of sorts, where I'll run a first Similarity Search, then pick an interesting image from the results, run another, and then another and another, just to look through my catalog and to see what I can find. So give it a try and see what you think. And if you found this video helpful, click that like button. Of course, for more tips and tutorials on Excire's AI-powered photo management tools, be sure to subscribe to our channel.